Good evening, race fans. Live now. Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Lugnut's Bump and Run Late Model Series action at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Joined in the booth tonight by good friend Brian Dribble. Brian, how you doing tonight?
Oh man, a good friend. When did this happen? I don't remember getting a Valentine's Day card from you or anything.
Well, that's just not my style. I call most of the guys I race with good friends when I usually see them in the mirror.
Well, that'd been true about last night, Bob. Congratulations on your win. You're looking good.
Thank you, thank you. Getting a lot of guys thanking me, and it was a big night. It's always nice when you get that first one at a track that has taunted you for a long time.
Speaking
Tonight,
of,
we are at Indianapolis Raceway Park, as us old guys call it, Lucas Oil Raceway, 5/8 mile. It's pretty flat. Be interesting to see what the late model has to offer here tonight, Brian. Any thoughts from what we were doing earlier when we were on the track with the guys in practice?
well, it just seems that there's a lot of grooves in turn 1 and 2. You can do the high line across the top or the low line. Yeah, they seem to be equal. We'll see how tire wear affects the final run. But the fast guys are fast again. It looks like James Lehman might be starting on the pole again. He was our winner last week. So about one minute to go in qualifying.
Yes, guys are just finishing up with their qualifying laps. Quick look at the weather. It's 78 degrees. That sounds very nice for guys up in New Hampshire with snow up to his waist. We're looking at a track temp of 86 degrees. Should be a good racing weather. Wish we had that here right now. Just waiting for these guys to finish up with their qualifying. We have a 120 lap race tonight. From when I ran in practice, looked like the limited fuel load will take them about 50 to 55 laps. This series also runs a fixed setup, so everybody's got the same chassis settings. So it's really up to what these guys can do behind the wheel and with their pit strategy. And currently showing James Lehman on the provisional pole. Still just a few seconds left on that. Mark Jackson to the outside. See if his time stands. Lehman has a 22.735. Pretty bad lap. He's been fast in both the practice sessions as well. I'm not sure what kind of lap Brian ran, and actually I don't even remember what I had for a lap time, to be honest with you, but it was not a 22.7. Guys are getting in the cars and ridding them up. We'll take a look at our over-the-top paints. Pole award runner is James Lehman tonight. Mark Jackson will be starting to his outside. Dustin Lee in the number 51 will be rolling off third. Dead Chief Quinsel in the number 84, starting fourth.
All right, in fifth position, we got Mitchell Reeves. Outside of him is going to be Zach Coyer. I know he has a cool nickname. Sorry, I forgot it, Zach. Something to do with cracking up on a beer, I'm sure. Next up, Matt Vade. And then rounding out that's in eighth position, Craig Covington. And ninth, Niels Clyde. And rounding out the top 10 is going to be Michael Jeans.
Yes, and Billy Wise from the Wise Guys, one of our supporters. Don't listen to dumb music, listen to the Wise Guys in that 32 machine rolling off 11th tonight. Jason Covington, runner-up last season in the points, looking for a solid run tonight, rolling off 12th. The Hornet, dude, Hoskins, starting 13th. David Johnson ran the Wiener mobile last week. I think he's got the Twinkie paint job on that machine tonight. The 00 rolling off 15th. Newcomer to the series, Dakota Piscay, starting 15th, and the Baltimore Bomber, Matt Heavener, rolling off 16th.
All right. I'm pretty sure it's Dakota Pishke.
Yes, thank you for that.
Say it three times fast.
Yes, we did that and still messed it up.
All right. Next up, 17th, Jason Hughes and Joseph McWhorter. And then the last qualifying time on this track was Corey Wharton. Not taking qualifying time was Brian Bizzell and Travis Zudema. So hopefully they're gearing up to join the race with us.
Yes, Travis driving that car that's got the MS logos all over it. Great cause that he supports a lot. Looks like they're just about to roll off behind the iRacing Mustang for the first, I believe, of 2 pace laps here at Lucas Oil Speedway. From practicing out there, Brian, saw a lot of lines available, but clearly that high line through the corners seemed to be the fastest one.
Yeah, and the admin's been very clear about this. No rim riding tonight. It's imperative that does not happen, because there is a serious unfair advantage to riding that wall out there. So we'll see who tests the limits of that. I know if you push a little harder than you think you are going into the turn, you just gotta drift right up there and touch the wall, and it gently puts you back on the track for a good exit. So it's gonna happen by accident quite a bit tonight, I'm sure. But the other thing I saw during practice, which was really quite amazing, is the number of times I had significant contact but was able to keep the car going in a straight line. So we're probably going to see more contact here without cautions than the previous races. At least that's what I'm hoping. And it should be a fantastic race.
Yes, looking for a lot of big things. This is a track I used to watch back in the day, Thursday Night Thunder. A young kid named Jeff Gordon used to run the sprint cars, run them very well on ESPN back in those days. The track has a lot of history, just in the shadows of Indianapolis Raceway Park.
iRacing pace car's off, Bob.
Yes, iRacing pace car has ducked off pit road, and we will be going green. First start is on the green lights. Lehman on the pole. And they are green flag racing. Field works their way down into turn one for the first time tonight. Lehman gets down to the inside, quickly works his way to the top, and taking the lead out of two.
And Dustin Lee's also going to hold his position and push Mark Jackson back into third. Single file for the most part until you get back to Zach Hoyer in the 31. He's getting passed by the 015 of Matt Vade. I apologize for saying his name wrong, I'm sure, but he was able to get that fantastic run off that corner. And
yes, you got me with Dakota, and that's actually, I think, Matt Rod. A lot of 2x2 racing for the back in the pack. We got Nels, Clyde, Craig Covington, 08, Jason Covington, Billy Wise, all side by side back there. Some real good racing.
I'll tell you what, we can stay focused on the 96 car for a little bit. Oh, we got a caution.
Caution is out for the first time here. Didn't see what brought that one out. I'm not sure if you caught it, Brian.
Got the 00 of Dave Johnson. And the 33 of Joseph McWhorter.
That's a tough break early going for those guys. And
So
field will be regrouping behind the iRacing pace car here.
McWhorter's gotten a wonderful run down the backstretch, going through 3 and 4. He was sitting pretty. And it looks like he just drifted up. Oh, there it is. The 00 got loose, hit the wall, came back down. McWhorter was underneath him. And there was some slight contact, and the 00 continued to spin, hit the wall there. And I'm just checking to see how many more people may have been collected in that. It looks like it was just those two. Dave Johnson definitely getting the worst of that.
Yeah, it looks like he'll probably stop for some pit service and maybe get a Twinkie.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. So what about fast repairs? How many they got this evening?
Series has one fast repair. For the fans watching, I'm not sure what that means. Fast repairs, you can go into the pits and essentially get a brand new car minus fuel and tires. You still have to perform those services. Being a short track, a lot of the guys may save that for an epic wreck in which they take significant damage. If that's the case, you choose not to use it. iRacing calculates the damage and how long it takes to fix that. So, for instance, if you have some minor damage, you might pull them to the pits and have 45 seconds of repairs, and you just have to sit and wait for those to be done, or you can do them through the course of multiple pit stops.
Sure. So it looks like Zudema, Wharton, and Johnson are the 3 cars that pitted underneath that caution. And it is pretty important to point out that the less fuel you have in your car, the faster you're running this evening. So it's not as advantageous to pit every time, especially because these tires kind of hold on better here than at most tracks. So the urge to pit is not really that great, and the more fuel you can burn off, the faster you're going to be. So those 3 cars are going to start at the back with fresh tires, but also probably a full fuel load.
Yes, and track position, I think, will be a very important role tonight, too. Staying out, we have a fair amount of cautions. You might be able to do this race on one stop. But that track position being hard to pass here will be very critical. And I was up in that top 5, I definitely would not have fitted this time for sure. Lights are still on the pace car, so we're going around at least one more time before the field turns to green. And Sunday night, Loose Lugnut, so we do a monthly show. It's called 2 to Go with Bad Bob and Rackham. That's going to be on 7 p.m. Eastern on Loose Lugnut's TV. Hope you tune in. We got some guests coming on, talk about some of the things that are going on in Loose Lugnut's racing. And we'll probably also be talking about the upcoming Great American Race in Daytona.
That sounds very exciting, Bob. I can't wait to watch.
Well, I might actually drag you in on that one. Hey, lights just went out on the iRacing Mustang. We'll be going back green next time by. Lehman and Dustin Lee are up on the front row. Jackson and Reeves following close behind them in the second row. We'll be beginning lap 9 this time by. Still in the very early stages.
You want me to take over? Tim? Tim?
Maybe 5 going into turn 1, and they're all bunched up behind him in the 51 of Dustin Lee and all his friends. Mark Jackson pushing hard on the inside there, inside them up. Some contact behind him, some contact with him. Lots of contact here.
Right behind them there. Ted Chief just got somebody there going before they straighten it out and keep going.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I expected to happen. Chief's got some really broad shoulders, so every once in a while when you're outside of him, things don't work out in your favor there.
Yes, he is a tough racer. He's a tough old guy, too. He gets up about 4 o'clock every morning, hits the gym, a lot of biking and everything. Definitely doesn't show his age. And field is singled out. Lee, Mark Jackson, Reeves, Ted Chief Winslow.